We are live from the Performance Center. Nothing sexual going on, just wrestling in our underwear. We are wrestling with criminals. I am the human crash test dummy Jay Kraft, hosting this sumbitch since the beginning of time. I put my body on the line for the sake of this podcast. And what kind of thanks do I get? All of it. All of it.
Yeah.
Brother Dan is back with me. The cream of the crop. He's the man who found Shawn Michaels' smile after he lost it, making hard times look easy and telling The Undertaker to rot in piss. Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Let me go ahead and crack open the Steve Weiser for you right here.
Oh,
There you go. Let me crack open a Steve Weiser, or the rest of the world calls it a Pepsi.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't drink anymore. Otherwise, we'd be pounding some beers. Who you think is a better haircut, you or Brutus Beefcake?
Oh, me, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to Brutus if I needed a mullet.
Yeah.
If I needed a slick mullet, I'd ask Brutus Beefcake to trim my shit. We got a good one today. There's not a lot about this guy. He's a modern guy, but his career was kind of short. So he was only active for about 6 years. It's a pretty hilarious subject. I mean, it's just everything surrounding it is funny. It's not like, you know, I'll tell you, we're wrapping up Pride Month here. This is a gay wrestler, and this is not, there's not going to be a lot of homophobia in this one either. This is another lesson in comedy, right? How can a straight guy make fun of a gay guy without being homophobic? Well, strap in, I'll let you know. But yeah, we're wrapping up Pride Month with a gay wrestler, and this one was a good one, man. Like, I had a good time researching him. He's good in the ring. His promos aren't very good. He didn't have a great character either. His character was kind of generic. High flying guy, really entertaining to watch, but not necessarily anybody who's very memorable. So I can tell you that you probably don't know this guy because I didn't fucking know him either. But he's good. He's pretty good. We don't need to waste any more time. Making his way to the Wrestling with Criminals ring. If you can't fuck properly, you better clear out. Because here comes a dick-slinging machine who takes it very, very seriously. Standing at 5'10", and we don't know what other measurements he's got going on, but, you know, if you subscribe to his OnlyFans, you might. He's Mexican and will not be a victim of your white power. You better know your rights and be prepared to protect your face from scratches. He will tear your shirt and break your heart. Fighting tonight for the title of the King of the Cock Ring. Gentlemen and gentlemen, pull your dicks out and welcome Jake Atlas.
Hey.
So yeah, we got a good one here. This guy's more fun of a character outside of wrestling than he was inside of wrestling. So I'm really excited to do this one. His career wasn't very long, but there's some good stuff in there. And, you know, he was a gay guy. Seems like he was always a gay guy. Never really seemed to be confused about his sexuality. Always out and proud, which, you know, is always good. It's always nice to be a self-aware person, no matter what you're doing in life.
Most definitely.
And wrestling seems like it would be perfect for a gay guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you get to wrestle around with other shirtless dudes and you might get a belt out of it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, like, oh, man.
Might get famous. Rich.
Yeah, I got to fight a guy and get a belt. This is amazing. So, yeah, this is going to be a really good one. This guy is a lot of fun. I had a great time doing this one. Jake Atlas, you were a lot of fun. I loved watching your matches. You need some help. You need some help on the promos. I can help you if you want. So, I don't know. Let's just ring the bell.
Okay.
Jake Atlas was born Kenny Sanchez Marquez on October 5th, 1984 in El Monte, California. Why Jake? Why not Kenny Atlas?
Yeah.
Why did you go by Jake? Why was that's nowhere in your name. You should have been Kenny Atlas, I think. He is of Mexican descent. He will let you know that a little later on. His parents are actually from Mexico, moved to California. That's where he was born and grew up. So Kenny grew up doing gymnastics and cheerleading. And he was so good at it that he would eventually go on to coach gymnastics. So at a young age, he started being a gymnastics coach for a living. You know, athletic guy, really athletic dude. And I mean, obviously, it would be a good pivot from, like, with your gymnastics background.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be a good pivot to go into wrestling, right? So Kenny trained at Santino Brothers Wrestling to become a professional wrestler. He grew up a fan of Mexican lucha libre because his parents loved it and exposed him to it at a young age. And he already had the gymnastic skills, so this seemed like the perfect fit for his next move in his athletic career. And I mean, seems like it would be a good one. So Kenny set out with the goal of being the first openly gay WWE champion in history. This is a goal that he would never meet. Sorry if I'm spoiling anything, but Jake Atlas never went on to be the first openly gay WWE champion. He adopted the ring name Jake Atlas, and that would be the only name that he would ever wrestle under. I still want to know why you went by Jake.
Yeah.
I don't like. You could be Kenny. Kenny Atlas sounds just as cool. I mean, neither one of them sounds cool,
Right.
to be completely honest with you. But you know, Atlas carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and for some reason, you just got to go by Jake. Jake Atlas made his professional wrestling debut on August 6, 2016, picking up a disqualification win over Robbie Phoenix. That's also kind of a generic, dumb name. Robbie Phoenix, man. Just when you think I'm down, I come back from the ashes and I hit the Phoenix Splash. Or whatever the fuck Robbie Phoenix does. I don't know. I should have looked it up because he might have gone on to be somebody that's actually like good.
Yeah.
We have a couple of those mentioned in here, so he's faced off against some good ass motherfuckers before, old Jake Atlas. He hit the ground running on the California indie circuit. He wrestled all of them: Orange County Championship Wrestling, Empire Wrestling Federation, Gold Rush Pro Wrestling, and All Pro Wrestling, where he won 2 of their titles. I think their World Heavyweight Championship and their Junior Heavyweight Championship. So he was doing good on the indies. You name it, Jake was there kicking an ass. He's just being the gay wrestler who wasn't taking shit from anybody. I bet like that's probably a good gimmick on the indies, because you go to a place that's kind of homophobic, you're a really easy bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
You go to a place that's really tolerant, you're a really easy good guy, a really easy sympathetic baby face.
Yeah, right.
They're homophobic towards him. I hope he kicks their ass. I feel like being a gay wrestler would be great. I think it'd be fucking easy. Jake, you had a good thing going.
Yeah, for real.
He would even win the Santino Brothers Wrestling Championship for the promotion that trained him. Being a Santino Brothers champion just kind of sounds weird.
Yeah.
I'm the Mario Brothers champion. Like, you're the champion of some brothers?
Yeah.
Like, the Santino Brothers. I'm their whole ass champion. So, what do you think about that?
And we're not related.
Yeah, I guess. He formed a tag team in the California Indies with Lucas Riley, calling themselves Aerial Instinct. Okay.
Alrighty.
There are more dumb tag team names than there are cool ones.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed. That's
For
one thing
sure.
I've definitely picked up on this show. Like, you got people like the Backseat Boys and like Strong Style Thugs and the Basham Brothers, which... No offense, Doug Basham, but
Yeah.
that was a silly name, Basham Brothers. Come on. He wrestled with names like Brody King, Eli Everfly, Chris Cadillac, Amazing Jr., and even future Wrestling with Criminal subject and current WWE superstar Jacob Fatu. So there you go. That's pretty exciting. Part of the old bloodline there. He's pretty much every member of that Anoa'i family is going to be featured on this show at one point, because they like their drinking, they like their fighting, they like their robbing. That's what they like to do. They're just criminals. If they weren't ever into wrestling, they would just be lifelong career criminals, the Anoa'i family. They'd be the crime family that you'd hear of, not the wrestling family. So Jake's life was changed in 2018. Probably the weirdest way I've ever seen a person get into the WWE. You ready? I mean, obviously he was an indie wrestler, so he had experience wrestling. Remember the show Undercover Boss?
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie McMahon had an episode. despite being insanely recognizable from being on TV for fucking years.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, every WWE employee would see through the fucking wig and glasses.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, one of the ways they could get around Stephanie being recognizable as fuck was having her interact with, I don't know, say a gymnastics coach who had dreams of becoming a pro wrestler.
Okay.
You know, somebody that doesn't work for the company. You want to guess who the gymnastics coach was that had the WWE aspirations that Stephanie got to interact with on Undercover Boss? It was our new best friend, Jake Atlas. So he was featured on Undercover Boss with Stephanie McMahon. He was genuinely fooled. He didn't think that it was her because he thought they were just interviewing him about like some sort of gymnastics thing.
Okay, wow.
And during the course of the show, he told Stephanie about how he wanted to be the first openly gay WWE champion, inspire young LGBT youth out there to be themselves and stuff by, you know, being this big famous wrestler who was out and proud.
Yeah.
And since this is a feel-good show, damn it, Stephanie gave him $25,000 and a WWE developmental contract to work for mainly like an ambassador for their Be a Star campaign.
Yeah.
Now, Be a Star campaign was like this, it preached tolerance, anti-bullying, and like all of this stuff that is hilariously ironic when you stop and think that Vince McMahon was behind all of it.
Yeah, for real.
Don't harass people and now tell them to go out and make you some goddamn money. Like, I don't know. Now sit on my dick or you're fired. Oh, yeah, Vince McMahon should be in charge of Be a Star. He still wrestled in the indies during this time, too, to develop his skills, taking on opponents such as El Mariachi Loco,
All right.
Puma King, Joey Ryan, who famously does moves that involve his dick,
Wow.
and yes, even Jungle Boy, who is Luke Perry's son, Jack
Oh, wow.
Perry, and I believe he actually dated Jake Atlas at one point. Like, I think they're like exes, or they might currently be dating or something, but either way, I'm pretty sure Jungle Boy and Jake Atlas were an item at one point. Whatever the case may be, Jake once crushed Jungle Boy with his signature LGBT DDT.
Oh.
That's the name of his finishing move there. So a lot of letters, throwing a lot of letters in there, Jake. He even competed in GCW's Clusterfuck Battle Royale, which also featured Teddy Hart in this match. It was a bowl full of turds, it seemed like. So I don't know about the Clusterfuck Battle Royale. But I don't even think you could get me to watch something called, you want to watch this Clusterfuck Battle Royale? No, it sounds like it's going to be chaotic and not entertaining.
Sounds like a shit show.
Yeah, absolutely. You might as well call it a shit show. You want to watch the shit show Battle Royale? No, I don't. He signed his official contract with the WWE on October 23rd, 2019. He would be placed in their developmental brand NXT. So moving on up, making quick work, rising to the top, and, you know, making strides to do your goal, man, right? Inspire the LGBT youth.
Yeah.
Now, in NXT, it was being run by Triple H at the time. Jake told Triple H about his desire to be an openly gay champion, and Triple H pretty much shot that shit down from the fucking beginning, like before the idea could even get off the ground. He basically told Jake not to bring up his sexuality because, you know, quote, it didn't matter. Like, Jake says that he brought it up in a way that wasn't hateful or spiteful, but more of like a way of saying, like, look, we're not focusing on anything related to sexuality anyway, so no point in mentioning it. But, you know, WWE does like romance angles and shit all the time, so yeah, sure. There's logic in that, I guess, Triple H. It's not homophobia, I guess. I don't know. Why didn't you just let him be the gay dude?
Yeah.
Like the gay guy who wasn't a fucking over-the-top silly stereotype, who just wrestled and just happened to be gay. I don't know, but apparently Triple H didn't want him to mention it because your sexuality doesn't matter, not in this company, even though there was a gay angle with Liv Morgan telling Bobby Lashley that she used to fuck his girlfriend or whatever. I remember that from our Liv Morgan episode, so you can't fucking shit in my hat and tell me to wear it. That ain't gonna happen. Jake Atlas would lose to Dexter Lumis in his NXT debut. I don't think that that's a very good idea, having somebody lose on their debut.
Yeah, ouch.
You gotta make him look strong, right? You can't make him look like a jobber, especially if he's gonna keep going by Jake Atlas. He would compete in the NXT Cruiserweight Championship tournament. He would win the first round, win the second round, and he would lose in the third. So, I mean, he was good in the ring, but, the character just, wasn't really there because he couldn't be the character he wanted to be and the character that he was on the indies. His character was kind of generic.
Yeah.
He was just a high-flying dude who wrestled a gymnastic style. I mean, and maybe if he were allowed to be his authentic, openly gay self, people might react to get Jake Atlas in some way, but he was just another generic dude to throw in a match. So, nothing special. He was put on their Cruiserweight exclusive show 205 Live that no one watched.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching a show that just has little guys in it. He feuded with Santos Escobar for the title and always lost. This was entertaining to watch. I watched some of those earlier. They even forced him into a tag team for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, but that tag team went nowhere. Although Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked Jake Atlas 169th in their top 500 wrestlers of 2020, so they saw something in him even if NXT wasn't using him very well. And I mean, really, that's all it kind of was the character just wasn't there.
Yeah, right.
Everything else about him was cool to watch. His matches were fun. I watched a lot of his matches. He wrestled some good-ass motherfuckers, man. He competed against a lot of good guys in NXT that would go on to be in the WWE. Guys like Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, Austin Theory, and even our boy L.A. Knight. Yeah. How the fuck that's such a simple little catchphrase that gets over so well because you can't not repeat it.
Yeah.
When the fucking dude gets on the mic and goes, yeah, you have to go, yeah. Yeah, I agree. You have to agree to that for some reason. When somebody says yeah like that, you just have to agree. It's hard not to. On July 20th, 2021, Jake would defeat Ari Sterling on an episode of 205 Live and would be booted from the WWE after this, never to return. So he was just cut and just,
Ouch.
I mean, he was coming up in the developmental time while they were going through the pandemic thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, there wasn't a live audience. It was just kind of based on the discretion of,
sucks.
what you see people say on the internet or, what the people that are there live watching it. You just kind of have to go on, what they think about it. So, Jake Atlas kind of got a raw deal. He wasn't able to develop in front of a crowd and see if he got good crowd reactions.
Right. Plus, he didn't get to play his own character either, yes. So.
Yeah, he just had to be, you're just going to be a generic high-flying luchador guy. And it's but I'm the gay dude.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm not the stereotype gay dude. I'm the fucking inspirational gay dude. Help me out here, Triple H. Nah, that's not going to work for me, brother. In September, he would go back to face off against Effie in the GCW at their event, Effie's Big Gay Brunch. What a great event.
Oh, wow.
It kind of tells the story, I guess. This is going to be Effie's Big Gay Brunch, and he got to wrestle Effie, so that seems like it's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
He also wrestled Taylor Rust at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view in a losing effort. After this, Jake Atlas announced that he would be retiring from wrestling for mental health reasons. So no more wrestling for me, says Jake Atlas. I am retiring for good. Hanging up the boots. Less than 2 months later, Jake wrestled Austin Ryan for an indie promotion called Supreme. Welcome back, Jake. Hope you enjoyed your very extended 2-month retirement that you had. Do motherfuckers take longer vacations than that, Jake? You were retired. Supreme Wrestling is based in Indiana. It's based in Madison, Indiana. I know that because my buddy, another LGBTQ wrestling icon, Storm Garcon, wrestles for Supreme Wrestling. Might even be their women's champion right now, but shout out Storm Garcon.
Okay.
I'd like to see Storm Garcon go up against Jake Atlas. That'd be great. And an LGBT clash of the fucking champions. Be amazing. So Jake Atlas would sign with AEW, All Elite Wrestling, in December. He defeated Serpentico on his debut, staying really active for a retired man.
Yeah.
He signed, that's the WWE's current, only remote competitor, really, is AEW.
Right.
I know they're the only other wrestling promotion that's on television or anything like that has a roster that's worth a shit. So, I mean, pretty good. He went from fucking NXT to AEW. So, he could have been a top guy there. He could have absolutely been a top guy there. But on January 7th, he lost to Adam Cole on AEW Rampage, who they were building up pretty big at the time. So that's not that bad of a thing to have him lose to this guy. But during the match, he injured his knee and would be sidelined because of it, which always blows, man.
Yeah.
Like, man, fuck, they were about to push me and shit. I was about to have, like, a really good run in this company. I was probably going to be one of their 750 champions that they have. They have, like, 900 belts in that company. Jake would have had one of them, but he hurt his knee, so that sucks. And also during this time, Jake started dating a fellow wrestler who is best known as Duke Hudson. He was part of the Chase U stable in NXT. Duke is a big motherfucker. He is definitely not a cruiserweight old Duke Hudson. He's a heavyweight, like a sumbitch, like a giant type. Like, this dude's like 6'10",
Damn.
something like that. Big, hulking motherfucker. And Jake here is 5'10". So, yeah, all right. All right, yeah. He likes them taller. He likes the tall, strapping men. Now, AEW would release Jake from his contract following something that would happen on May 23rd, 2022.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, why don't we hear the story from our friends over at Cage Side Seats. On Monday, May 23rd, Jake Atlas was arrested on a misdemeanor battery domestic violence charge. Atlas, real name Kenny Sanchez Martinez, is a former WWE talent who signed with AEW earlier this year, then suffered a knee injury in his first televised match in January of 2022. The company has not commented on the arrest. Police and court documents state the arrest came as the result of an incident which started Sunday night at an Orlando bar. Atlas, who is openly gay, was drinking at a bar with friends when he called his partner to join them. When his partner arrived, who we've established as Duke Hudson, he tried to get Atlas to leave the bar, but Atlas convinced him to go with him to a female friend's house to engage in sexual activities. That's in a quote. Hey, come with me over to this lady's house so you can fuck me. Okay. The partner and a few friends then relocated to his friend's residence. There, Atlas continued drinking and even eventually became angry when his partner, quote, showed more attention to their female friend than to him, probably being polite and engaging her in conversation, would be my guess. A verbal argument ensued and Atlas became physically aggressive and charged at his partner. A friend apparently tried to stop Atlas twice, eventually convincing him to go home and sleep it off. When his partner left, however, Atlas followed him, and the ensuing altercation left his partner with a scratched forearm and a torn shirt, which were cited as probable cause for the domestic violence charge. Police were called after friends were unable to get Atlas to leave the apartment he shared with the victim, where the scene eventually moved to. Officers say they gave him multiple opportunities to tell his side of the story, but Atlas was only interested in talking bad about his partner. I mean, that's up for debate. We'll get into that in a second. As a condition for the release from jail, which occurred later in the day on March 23rd, Atlas agreed to not have contact with the alleged victim and must stay at least 500 feet away from him until otherwise allowed by Orange County, Florida. He'll be arraigned on the domestic violence charge on June 28th. He has not publicly commented on the incident, but he has since then, and I got that fucking quote too, but we'll get into it. Now, I have the arrest video of Jake Atlas, and I don't know if, he does talk. It's fucking hilarious. I'm going to give him that. It's goddamn hilarious, and I'm going to play it right now. Would you like to hear this fabulous piece of public record that I'm definitely allowed to play without paying somebody because it comes from police body cam footage? Here we go.
Can you just kind of run me through what happened?
Sure.
So I can understand why he called the cops. He probably feels insecure, or he feels that I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
But I'm not.
Okay.
I can, and you can believe me or you can't believe me. I am an international trained superstar.
Okay.
I have
An
worked
international trained
across the
superstar.
country, across the world with my name.
I gotcha.
He's a nobody. The guy that called the cops on you.
Who called the
Nobody.
cops?
Yes or no?
Okay.
Duke
Yes or
Hudson.
no?
I'm just asking you.
No,
Duke
no, no. Did
Hudson.
he call the cops? Yes or
I
no?
don't know exactly who you called, but
Yes or no? Did he call the cops?
I don't know.
Okay, well, just as much as you have a right to ask me questions, do I have a right to ask you questions?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. I don't know exactly who called. We just got the
Okay,
number for
so
disturbance.
let's just assume that
Okay, let's.
that fucking bitch ass fucking pussy.
Okay.
Duke Hudson,
Call
that
the
fucking
cops.
bitch ass
Okay,
fucking
what-
pussy.
What happened?
It doesn't matter
Where
what
did it start?
happened.
Where did it start?
I know, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to be with him anymore.
That's fine.
Okay?
But I have
So
to,
I
I have
live
to do
here.
my part.
I know, but I live here. I pay rent here.
Okay.
So if he's scared, like he's 6'5". He's fucking scared that I'm gonna do something. He's 6'5" and fucking jacked as fuck. I won't touch him. I've had the best sex of my life ever. That isn't him. Like I won't bother him. I won't touch him. I won't.
10-4.
Wait, what was that?
They were 10-4 check.
Officer said
Make sure I'm okay.
1040. Wait, what was that?
I'll tell
Am I
him.
hurting you?
No, it's just standard practice.
Right, but I'm not touching you.
Everyone
if
is
you,
on the
if
call.
you want, I will stand over here. If you
No,
want.
no, you're okay. You're okay. No, they
I know,
do
I'm
that.
not
That's your
hurting you.
job.
He's freaking
They're-
out
I
because
have
the
your
cop said
rights just as
10-4.
much as you have your rights.
Absolutely.
And
Hey.
is white as fuck, so that's why he doesn't understand rights. But I'm Mexican, and I will do what I need to do to protect myself from you.
I got
Because
that.
I'm Mexican,
I'm
and
no threat. You're
gonna
not a
let
threat
you,
to me. I'm not a
yeah,
threat to
I'm
you.
not gonna let you use your your white power against
Okay,
me.
I just want your side of the story from Big Daddy's to now. Can you explain to me what happened?
There's nothing to explain other than is a terrible boyfriend, and he's
Duke
terrible
Hudson.
at sex, and like I don't know what else there is to tell
Did
you.
anyone put hands on each other?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay,
I wouldn't say so.
I got you.
But you can use that against me if you want.
I'm not using anything.
I don't know what that
But
means.
that's what it feels like.
No.
Just because you're white, it feels like I have to be the victim because I'm Mexican, I'm of color.
That's all your
like,
implications. It's not
No,
mine.
but that's
not
what it
I'm
feels
hearing.
like.
Okay, well,
Because
you
you're
can-
like,
you
did
can feel-
anyone put hands on each other? Because I'm like, okay, well, I didn't attack him. Like, I didn't.
What's
know
that have
what
to do
I
with
mean?
race,
Well, there's
Jake?
allegations, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to get your side of the story, but you're not telling me your side of the story.
Well, here's my side of the story. I don't want to be with him.
Okay,
I don't want anything
that's
to do
not
with
what
him.
I'm asking. I want to know what happened at the apartment after.
Well, I'm not going to answer that. And I have a
You don't
right.
have to.
I know, but I have a right to.
This is your chance to explain so I can understand, because I only have half of it. I have half, and I'm missing your half. If I don't have your half, I don't have a whole two.
I live here, and he lives here too, and I don't.
Is
have
that
to
like
be
a
in this-
or is like a little redness? Is that like a
We're both wrestlers. Like I don't.
I guess-
We're both
okay.
in the industry. Like I don't.
Yeah, but you're a superstar and he's a nobody. Now a cop is coming up the thing. There's not much to this visually. He's just
Sit
standing
down.
in front of the door of an apartment.
You sit down.
And now backup has arrived.
All right, listen. Come here.
Wait,
And
why are you
now
guys?
they're
Wait,
arresting
hold
his
on. Why are you
ass.
guys?
Sit down.
Putting him in cuffs.
Are you guys putting me under
Sorry,
arrest?
Jake Atlas. Sorry, Jake Atlas. But yeah, that's the police video. Basically, man, you gotta feel bad. The whole gay community knows that Duke Hudson can't fuck for shit now. Yeah, he's terrible in bed. I don't want to be with him. He's white as fuck, so he doesn't understand rights. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm Mexican, okay, and you're not gonna come at me with your white power. I love it. That's a fucking hilarious arrest video. When I watched that arrest video, I was like, "Yep, this is the next one I'm doing.
Yeah.
I got to do this." Look, my perspective is he's terrible in bed. I've had the best sex of my life. It wasn't with him. It was amazing. So now, from what I've been told from like friends of mine over the years who just so happen to be gay, domestic violence is a huge problem in gay men's relationships.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's like, fucking we're still dudes, so I'm still gonna punch you in your fucking face.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, like it can be a big problem. Like domestic violence can be a really big problem to the point where like I've met gay people that don't even think that it's a big deal. in a relationship. Like, yeah, they get mad at each other, they punch each other a couple times, and then they make up, and it's like, dude, that's bad. That's not a good thing. Like, it's not okay to fight the person you fuck.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that. Now, Jake did release a statement in July following his arrest. Let's head over to Bleacher Report and read it. Former WWE and AEW wrestler Jake Atlas released a statement Friday regarding his May arrest on suspicion of domestic violence. In the statement, Atlas apologized for his actions and said that he was under the influence of alcohol when it happened, but noted that being intoxicated does not excuse my behavior. No, it does not. Atlas also wrote that he had been self-medicating with alcohol for 7 years to cope with anxiety and depression before recently entering and completing an outpatient treatment program in Florida. He wrote that he intends to continue his treatment going forward. According to TMZ Sports, it is alleged that Atlas, who is among the most prominent LGBTQ performers in pro wrestling, physically assaulted his boyfriend on May 23rd. He scratched his boyfriend and tore his tank top during an argument over a sexual encounter. That's right, he can't fuck for shit. So, yeah. He was released from AEW, from his contract because of it, and, there's all that fluff at the end of it. He was a cruiserweight and all that shit. But yeah, I mean, now Jake Atlas has since publicly stated that he is retired from pro wrestling, and he has not made his return since AEW. But we've heard this retirement speech before. Jake might be back.
Yeah.
If that knee heals up properly.
Quick.
And he needs to get back in there. So I mean, this is a retirement that's stuck a little bit. Now these charges against Jake were later dropped, but you still got arrested, dude, so you're fair game for this show. Sorry. That is your Wrestling with Criminal story of Jake Atlas, openly gay pro wrestler, domestic abuser, and undercover boss beneficiary.
Hey.
It's a crazy way of getting into the WWE, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
So where is Jake Atlas today? We always ask. I don't know. He's not easy to find, this Jake Atlas, really. His IG, Jake Atlas Real, has like 3 posts and isn't active anymore. One video on his YouTube channel from a year ago, hasn't posted anything. Not on Twitter. He does have an email, I guess. I could fucking try to ask him what's going on with him. The only thing that I can think that Jake is doing to make money these days is, well, he has an OnlyFans page. I'm not going to sign up to see how active he is, but if you want to, by all means, his username is World of Jake. So again, he's still using the name Jake, even though his name's Kenny. I do wish you all the best of luck in your future gay porn endeavors, Jake Atlas. Hope you can find the domestic violence-free happiness that you're looking for. I'd like to see you get back into wrestling. I wouldn't mind it. Maybe you could play the character that you want to fucking play this time. But I do, however, have one more thing that I have to say to Mr. Jake Atlas. Jake, I'm not here to fuck, I'm here to fight. I hope you're capable of doing one without the other. You're an international superstar and I'm a nobody, but I can tell you what I'm not, and have never been, a domestic abuser. I've never even considered raising my hand to a partner as a possibility in my life, and you want to throw hands with anyone that comes prematurely. Jake, you can't fight people you fuck. I know it gets confusing because by profession you fake fight the people you fuck, but once you start fucking, you can only continue fake fighting the people that you fuck. You with me? Does that make any sense? You're supposed to make them come, not make them bleed, is what I'm trying to say, Jake. I think the WWE dropped the ball on you creatively. I really do. Jake Atlas should have been a positive beacon for LGBT youth, showing them that gay people can be strong and athletic and persevere to become world champions. I was with you creatively, even if Triple H wasn't. I think that should have been your absolute character. You had all the potential in the world, and it was ruined by some bad booking, and then buried because of your boyfriend beating ways. So it's time to come out of retirement, Jake Atlas. It's time to throw down with someone you don't kiss goodnight. You might not think I know about rights because I'm white as fuck, but I know that I have the right to kick some compassion into your domestic abusing head. You will feel my white power, Jake Atlas, and there is nothing you can do about that. 10-4, buddy. What's that mean? 10-4, what was that? What, am I trying to hurt you? It's fucking great. That almost concludes our episode of Wrestling with Criminals for this week, but I do have a wrap-up question about Mr. Atlas here. Now, if the WWE leaned into the LGBT thing, he would have been a bigger success, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think homophobia or the fear of homophobia held them back? Like, do you think maybe Triple H was kind of like, I don't know, the whole gay thing is a little,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe he was thinking like, I don't know, some of our more redneck fans are going to throw us some hate this way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand. Like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you couldn't have let it play out. I mean, I would have liked to have seen what they did with a dude who comes out and just says, like, look, I'm gay, but I'm here to whoop your ass. Like, I don't care if you think, like, I'm here to prove to you that gay men aren't sissies. And then, like, came out and just started kicking some ass. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Now, one last thing of note. You might have heard me get a little bit distracted a little bit earlier in this episode, but I got an email while we were recording to let me know that eBay user AntArm30 has accepted my offer for an autographed Jake Atlas action figure, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So I am now the proud owner of a piece of Wrestling with Criminals history. Fucking shout out AntArm30 on eBay, man. I can't wait to put this next to my fucking Disco Inferno diecast car. I'm really excited for that. That's fucking awesome. I didn't even know Jake Atlas had an action figure until I was doing research for this show. Threw that guy an offer, and he accepted it while we were recording. It's great. That's it for us for this week. Hit that like or subscribe button. Write a review for us, even if it's just a single one-word review. Splendid. That's all you need to say.
Yeah, awesome.
Great. Manipulatous. Make up a word. Who gives a fuck? Manipulatous. Make it up. I don't give a shit. 5 stars, word of mouth. I do not care. Just spread the word. Spread some Wrestling with Criminals love to your friends. Dan hosts a WNBA podcast with me called Planet W, so be sure to check that out.
Sir.
Dan, you got any other plugs that you might want to throw out to the listeners?
You can find me on TikTok or Instagram at Feverville317. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or we're on Facebook, a Planet W NBA, a Planet W fan group.
Absolutely.
Also, and you can check that podcast out on any podcast platform that you listen to.
Yeah, and then also give that one 5 stars and all that good shit too. We're growing pretty well. We've gotten a lot of good love on that show. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on this show. So if you want to reach out to us to get like a question or some of your feedback featured on a future episode of FAQ, which is feedback and questions, not frequently asked questions, because the frequently asked questions are, when are you going to do Chris Benoit? When are you going to do Vince McMahon? As soon as I get the time, as soon as I get the multiple episodes to devote to it. You can hit me up, planetwnba@gmail.com is the email. I'm also on Twitter /X, jcraft247. And aside from that, now that we've blown your backs out, we're going to give you a 1, 2, 3. Fucking and fighting, baby.
Yes, sir.